Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. Saturday morning, is it just me or is it you as well? Are you nervous about the game tomorrow? Because I am. And I'll admit it, I am. I'm nervous about the game tomorrow. I'm not sure which Celtic are going to turn up. Is it the Celtic that turned up the other night under Martin O'Neill, full of confidence and just, played fantastic, played free, played without any worries? Or is it going to be the same Celtic that was played the majority of the last 6 or 7 months under Brendan Rodgers, that were nervous, that were in their shells? I'm not too sure, to be honest, and I'm not too sure at all. I'm really unsure on what Celtic North. But there's loads to talk about. There is a lot to talk about from yesterday. That's a cracking banner. Oh, I need to get this banner up. There was a banner at the women's football. And this is better than anything that the Green Brigade put up. I'm going to put this up on the screen. I think it was at the women's football. You'll find this a little bit funny this morning. Jurassic Park head, dinosaurs in charge, stalling the growth of the women's game. That's a bit controversial. Stalling the growth of the women's game. I've got to just leave that there in the corner this morning, because that's not really what I want to talk about. There's a game tomorrow that I'm really nervous about. The Celtic fans survey was released by Celtic, and I never spoke about it yesterday, but in February 2023 the Celtic End was launched to propose the idea of the lower Jock Stein stand, turning that into a standing section, taking away the little bit of leather seating that is in that stand, taking away people's seats that have been there for a long time. I know people that have sat in that stand since it was built. The long-awaited release of the Celtic FC fan survey, we are delighted that at least 60% of match-going fans have validated the Green Brigade's call, they says. Broken down, a further 52% of majority of season ticket holders expressed their interest in being part of a standing section. 59% indicated they would be open to being moved to facilitate a standing section. I wonder how many people behind in the stand actually. I'm just reporting on what was said. This presents a clear mandate for the increased standing section. We are welcome the fact that the club has stated twice that work is underway in respect of this, in conjunction with the commitment to improve supporter engagement. Right, let's go over to the statement that Celtic released with the fans survey. We'll get it up on the screen because we do like doing that. There we go. We'll just move me down a bit there so we could see what's actually on the screen. It says, across various areas of the club activity, the club has been gathered information which allows us to gauge fans' views on what is the really important issues. I love it when you go down. In terms of matchday experience, the feedback that the atmosphere at Celtic Park was positive, with 91% of fans rating it excellent or good, which contributes to a positive all-match day experience. What the fuck are you doing? Have you listened to the atmosphere at Celtic Park? Let's be honest here. Let's have a frank and honest conversation. Champions League last year. Where was the big Celtic atmosphere during the Champions League last year? Apart from the Green Brigade and the boys, there is no atmosphere. It's going to be interesting this weekend because the Green Brigade have had 500 tickets taken off them because of letting pyro off at a game last year at Hampden with Aberdeen. The game was delayed for 15 minutes, remember, and the Green Brigade got 500 tickets taken off them. As well, Celtic were deducted 500 tickets, and the board seeing it within there, well, caused the 15-minute delay, caused the 500 tickets to be taken away from Celtic. We're putting it on you, the Green Brigade. So they turned around and said, well, we won't be taking up any other allocation of tickets, and then the boys come out and said, well, if the Green Brigade aren't allowed in, we're not going in. There's a lot going on at the club that is very divisive. Not only the board, there's a lot going on at the club, and I kind of hope that we're bringing in Martin O'Neill that would get over it, but all we've done with bringing in Martin O'Neill really is papering over the cracks, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's just a short-term plaster, and even Martin O'Neill says that him coming in here is just a short-term plaster. However, the number of fans that reported unsatisfactory experiences within the stadium facilities highlights its primary issue, including connectivity, catering outlets, toilets. Will assist. The club will look and make improvements for the supporters. Additionally, the feedback on safe standing the club important insights to help formulate the next step in this key area. Interesting one on the digital fans. The view of improving digital accessibility. The creation of the club app is already well underway, with huge benefits set to be delivered, and it's launching soon. So when the team goes out, you'll have an app on your phone, and you'll all be standing outside the stadium with no signal, waiting for the team to be released onto the Celtic app that you can't get onto because there's no signal outside Celtic Park. Never mind being inside Celtic Park and trying to get a signal on your phone. Anyway, in addition, we'll be launching a brand new Celtic TV channel. Well, there we go. At the start of next season, work is ongoing way with the reviews and options for a club membership scheme. Money, 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 geez your money, you fucking stupid Tims. Jesus, honestly. We have noted that the stadium catering has been highlighted. It's rank, it's overpriced, it's shit food. That's it. You used to get a lot of pizza for about £5. I'm no idea what it is now. Nearly 60% of the supporters said they would use public transport to travel to matches. 60% saying that they would travel from inner Glasgow. I think that Celtic need to have a reality check. The reality is that there's tens of thousands of Celtic fans travel on buses to Celtic Park. The infrastructure for growth, there is a little bit there, considering we use the car park over at the Emirates. When you look at the old car park up behind the stand, that's full to capacity. There's no new buses getting in or out of there. But the majority of fans that take cars don't stay in Glasgow. And I don't think that, public transport, saying that if it was improved public transport, you'd have to get... Do you know what I think really annoys a lot of Celtic fans? Is the fact that Hearts can travel... If Hearts stay in Edinburgh, the majority of Hearts fans do, some don't, some get the train into Edinburgh. Okay, Edinburgh, it's time to turn it up. And you can get off right at Murrayfield and just walk up to the ground. You can get the tram pretty much as closer to any other stadium. I don't think there's another stadium in Scotland that has a tram line as close to it as what Hearts does. I mean, even the Highbays are fucking raging. And yes, it has something that needs to be looked at. But this is also the reason. There's a flip side to the coin on this, and people saying that they would use public transport. The public transport has to be on after the game. People leave early on midweek games, not just only midweek games. People leave early all the time now to beat the traffic. It's something that's gotten worse over the last 5 years. Something that's gotten worse with the amount of people that leave early to try and beat the traffic, to get on the buses, to get on the trains. Looking back, maybe the Kellys and Whites had something going on when they said, let's build a stadium just off the motorway so everybody has to drive and have a big, huge car park. You would think with the amount of land that Celtic own, that they could make better use of it when it comes to facility for fans, but they haven't even included that in the report. The report seeks to respect and reflect those voices faithfully and independently, but it's took them a couple of years to release this fan survey. Anyway, we digress. We'll get away from it because I want to talk about the team. Let's just go right on to the fucking team has disappeared. So wait till I change the screen. I'm nervous for the game this weekend, have I told you? It's a massive match this weekend. Martin O'Neill has been talking about the fact that he's looking forward to it a little bit. But he was also asked about the Celtic manager's position. And will he be here for the long term? There's a lot of talk about Celtic maybe not being able to get the person that we want. I think the excitement of Martin O'Neill coming in was fantastic, and the result was fantastic. And the pace that Dermot Desmond got Martin O'Neill in, and you're thinking, yes, now keep going. Get Martin O'Neill in for the game on Wednesday. Martin O'Neill said, look, I could be gone by the weekend. It's that short term. I mean, when he got out the taxi after getting the flight up, I mean, he had a suit bag. He didn't have a suitcase full of clothes. He had a suit bag, which means that he didn't really intend on being too long in the hotel that he's currently staying at. And he wasn't really thinking about, weeks and months down the line. He was thinking more, Dermot said that he's going to make things happen in the next week and we're going to get a new manager in. But Celtic being Celtic have kind of slowed everything down, isn't it? There's nothing new. There's, according to most media sources, there's been no direct contact from Celtic to any one individual as it stands. And we're all focused on Martin O'Neill having a fantastic game. We're all focused on the game this weekend. The stark reality is the club have moved nowhere any further forward than where we were on Monday. And I know it's only Saturday, but I kind of had the feeling that, we're going to end up with Sean Maloney, aren't we? We're going to end up with Sean Maloney till the end of the season. Martin's going to go, look, I'm fucking too old for this pish. I told you I'd come in and help you for a couple of weeks. There was no couple of months about it. And with the likes of Kieran McKenna not turning down the job, but turning around and saying that he's entirely happy with Ipswich Town and he sees him being in the job for the medium long term. Craig Bellamy, who it's been suggested that Celtic were holding out for this summer. And then you've got Robbie Keane. And then you've got an under-21 England coach who took... There's no chance of we getting an ex-England boss. Not a chance. Can keep that one. But anyway, getting back to the game this weekend and the fan survey. Michael Nicholson said that the fan survey ensures supporters' voices are central to the club's strategy. What a load of pash. What a load of shite, if you ask me. Obviously the big news is that a lot of fans are wanting things to be... They're happy. I just don't see where they see that the atmosphere is great. It's not what it was. It's not what it was in 2019, that's for sure. It's not what it was in 2020 up until March. But this was taken a few years ago, but maybe because the atmosphere was good then under Ange, people are thinking, it's not as bad as what people think. But anyway, we move on. The North Curve Celtic, the Green Brigade and the boys, obviously over the moon with the fact that the details have came out and that they can put more pressure on Celtic, not just to get rid of the boards, but when the new boards come in, they can put more pressure on the new boards to get their standing section behind the goals. Where does it stop all this pressure and all this change? I mean, when are we going to be happy? I don't know, because I think there's a lot of fans just fed up with the situation just now, and Martin O'Neill was being brought in as this to steady the ship, and we're happy at that. And a lot of people would be happy with Martin O'Neill to the end of the season. But if he doesn't win the league, if he doesn't win the cup, if he doesn't do well in Europe, if he gets put out of the cup this weekend, if he has a terrible result in Europe next week, and Martin O'Neill said himself, he said, look, when we got to the first Rangers game when we beat them 6-2. We were 5 or 6 games in. I knew my players quite well. We'd had the pre-season. We'd had 5 or 6 games. I knew what they could do and what could be achieved. This team's nowhere near that, and I don't know the players like that. And he said, whilst it was a good win and they got the confidence back, I think that, there is still a long way to go. And I just don't want us getting too far ahead of ourselves. Maybe it's just the nervousness coming in from me about this weekend's game. And there has to be a nervousness because we've not shown against them in recent games that we've been up to it. And with so many people out injured, Alistair Johnson out injured, Cameron Carter-Vickers out injured, Kieran Tierney out injured, Marcelo Sarache, he didn't train yesterday, he's going to train today. That's just your back line. Midfield is fine. Rio Hitati, he just needs dropped. When you look at the forwards, Dyson Maeda is not 100% match fit. Jota's out injured. Kelechi Iheanacho, can he make the difference? Or will it be the Dyson Maeda show this weekend? Brendan Rodgers left the team with little to no confidence whatsoever. Martin O'Neill has come in and hopefully he can pick what will be the right team to get the win this weekend. Because not only is it a big win in terms of, and it's going to be a big weekend in terms of fans, because there will be no Green Brigade. There will be no boys. The Celtic fans themselves will need to make the noise. It rhymes, doesn't it? Could be a song. Country western type song. Don't know. Anyway, in goals, I reckon that Schmeichel will get the nod, even though he shouldn't, because Sinisalo's been the keeper for the cup games so far. Should Sinisalo get the cup game this weekend? He was kind of spoken about that he was going to get the cup games under the previous manager. Does Martin O'Neill make the changes of all changes? And does he play Sinisalo? Tell me in the comments. Drop a Sinisalo if you want Sinisalo in the comments to play. Hope Tierney's left out tomorrow. Yeah, I think a lot of us. He's not available. Is Iheanacho available? Martin O'Neill says that he trains today. Michelle says your mate is supposed to make us feel positive. Had enough of the fans, Rangers fans laugh and say they will pump us. I don't think that. Can they really think that? Yeah, up until the game during the week. Celtic pump the Huns tomorrow, will there be plenty of noise? Yeah, I think so. No Green Brigade or no library, it'll be like a library then. Anyway, let's move on to the midfield, because the defenders. With Ali Johnson out injured, with Jamal Simpson-Pusey, the man of mystery at Celtic. Even though he's made the bench and he's made the trip a couple of times, he's been nowhere near the bench. There's no chance of him starting. No chance of him starting this weekend. It's going to be Liam Scales and Austin Trusty in the centre pairing positions. Going forward on either side of them, it's going to be Marcelo and I'm going to say Tony Ralston. I've got a funny feeling he's going to go with Tony Ralston. It's just a feeling I've got. I'm not sure, but I think he's going to go with Ralston rather than Donovan. Just for that little bit of oomph. Because if it's going to be a kicking match, and there's going to be plenty of rough tackles going on, you're wanting Ralston in that team. Just to go, fucking, I'll show you. The midfield, this is the big one. Callum McGregor has stood up and been counted in unbelievable fashion. I mean, the way that Calmac has been over the last week, for me, has been... And it's captain material. It's been captain material. He's been captain material on the pitch, and he's been captain material off the pitch. And for all the haters that say Callum's done, he needs dropped and all the rest of it, It's at times like this that Callum shows the type of player, mentality-wise, and, he's undroppable just now. There's nobody that can replace him in our midfield. And a lot of people might not like that, but it's the truth. Arne Engels, does he start? Does Paulo Bernardo start? Because Paulo Bernardo's got a good little poof at Hampden, but maybe he may get some game time. I feel for Paulo because he's just for such a fantastic player, he's just not getting anywhere near it. I mean, you can understand Luke McCowan coming on, he's a fantastic player, but is Paulo better than him? And then the enigma of Benji Negrin. He scores from the left, he scores from the right, put him straight in a header and he's fucking shite. Benji, does he start? The goal scoring exploits of Benji, we've all seen them over the last couple of weeks. He's missed some absolute sitters. This is not a game for missing sitters. This is a game where you get one shot, you've got to put it in the back of the net. Rio Hita needs drop to the left at home. Oh, that far back home that he could get an episode of Neighbours in and take part in it. So the midfield for me, I think it's going to be Benji. I think it's going to be Callum McGregor and Arne Engels. That'll be the midfield that will start with me. That was the midfield that started the other night. I can't see any changes happening. Rangers playing 5 in the middle. Rangers going to go 3-5-2 for this game. We need the wingers to be at their best. We need the fullbacks to go further forward and help out the midfield. But then does that put the two at the back? Does that put them 1-on-1? And if Rangers do go 2 up front, it could make for an interesting game. Because if they've only got 3 at the back, they're either going to go 3 at the back or they're going to go 5 or 6 at the back. And I think that they will know that Celtic are a fast attacking team, and did we get enough glimpses of the game during the week for the belief? And maybe not. Martin O'Neill will pull a rabbit out the back, out his arse. Pull a rabbit out his arse. It's a bit disrespectful to Martin O'Neill saying that he's going to pull a rabbit out his arse. I could see us going 4-4-2 tomorrow. I think so. I think you see us going 4-4-2. But who else would you have in the midfield then? Because when you've got Benji, he's not a winger, is he? In fact, he's woeful on the wing. So do you have him just inside, and do you go with the midfield? Say you do have, I mean, I would go 3-5-2, being honest, rather than 4-4-2. I'd go 3-5-2. But it would mean leaving a defender out, and the one that you're going to leave out is the one that's in the middle of the screen right now, isn't it? It's Tony Ralston. But I don't think Celtic are going to go 3-5-2. Will they go 4? There's more chance of them going a 4-2-3-1 and then just telling the midfield to stay a bit more compact. More chance of that, because then you could have in the midfield, you could have Callum McGregor in the midfield. Sitting with Benji, Arne Engels a bit further forward, with Paulo Bernardo. I don't know. Luke McCowan start. Martin O'Neill's got a massive. I mean, because then we need to utilise the pace of Tenecti. Tenecti is the man for me tomorrow to watch. Tenecti is the man that's going to rip them apart. You'll see them doubling up on Tenecti. That's for sure at some point. Does James Forrest start? Could this be the day that James Forrest gets his goal, even though it doesn't count for the season? And do you go with Dice and Maeda? Do you know, we've got a lot of good issues, but it's what frame of mind is Dice in? What frame of mind is Dice and Maeda in? Is he still in I'm spitting the dummy out mode, or has Martin O'Neill coming in? And Martin O'Neill, 3-5-2 means no Tenecti, width from wing backs. You can't drop Tenecti. You can't drop Tenecti. No luck tonight, he won't start. The Huns will be playing 5-4-3-2-1, including the officials. No luck tonight, he won't start. Tonight he needs to start. He's the biggest playmaker that we've got at Celtic. He can take players on. He can get past them. Do you know? And I think that you need to. I'm going to go against Iniacho, and I'm going to. I mean, it's a hard one. It depends what he's been doing in training and how fit he is. But Johnny Kenny, do you then go with two strikers? I mean, Martin O'Neill loves two strikers. Do you go with Kelechi, Kells, as the old manager used to call him, and Johnny Kenny? Two similar types of strikers, big, strong. Martin O'Neill loves that type of player. Do you know, that bit of physicality that the last manager said we didn't have? That bit of pace, that bit of quality that the last manager said we never had, but Martin O'Neill, who turned up in a DeLorean and drove away in a Ferrari, rolling back the years for Celtic. And a lot of people are going to mention Shin Yamada. For me, it comes down to whatever Shin Yamada is doing in training. It's not given this. You can't for the new backroom staff to come in, and Shin Yamada's still nowhere near the bench. That has to be either a mindset or attitude thing. So all it comes down to, Martin O'Neill doesn't like to complicate football. You know, it's an easy game. Go out and play with confidence. Go out and play with a smile. Go out and play with the will to win. Just win the game. You know, just go forward. Do not fucking pass back. Shin Yamada, he might make the bench, but then Callum Osmond come on. And he's a lively little thing. Do you know? So, whoever makes the bench tomorrow will be called on at some point, I am sure. Michelangelo Belushka. And I just hope Yang's nowhere near it. Because Yang should be nowhere near a Celtic team ever again. And then there's Jamesy Forrest. Does Jamesy Forrest come on and score the winner? Or will it be Paulo Bernardo? You never know. You never know. Anyway, I'm not going to try and predict the team because Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney is working with the players as we speak, as we're live right now. It's 18 minutes past 9 in the morning. All the boys will be at the training ground at Lennoxtown, and they'll be in fine spirits. I think that when you've seen the training video from Martin O'Neill yesterday, you know, there's. But then again, Celtic put out videos when Brendan Rodgers was here, and everyone was smiling and happy at training. A fucking load of shite that was, wasn't it? Biggest load of shite ever. But anyway, it is interesting, the stuff that's coming out from the fan survey. How do you feel about it? And how do you feel about the Jurassic Park head stalling the growth of women's game? I've got to admit, that's better than anything the Green Brigade will do. The Green Brigade are now sitting like shamed by the women's. Is there a women's Green Brigade? I don't know. Maybe someone can tell us. That looks like a professionally printed one, doesn't it? But even so, it's fantastic. And there's got his fire certificate. And how did they get it into the ground? Those pesky female ultras. Can't wait till the female ultras take to the front of Celtic Park. The Celtic Moz. Come on, you girls in green. Let's go green and white. Michelle will be down the front getting it loudy. Anyway, that is me done and dusted for this morning. Half an hour on a Saturday morning's morning. Enough. Martin O'Neill talking about the time that he hasn't spoke to Dermot since after the game. You're not expecting him to speak to the owner on, you know, he's been brought in to do a job. But what is our owner doing? Because I was kind of excited the fact that, you know, maybe we are going to make something happen quick with the managerial position. But as it stands, Celtic are just doing a Celtic, aren't they? And that's why we want change at the club. That's why we all want change at the club. Gus Fitzsimmons is celebrating 10 months of membership. Let's get into them tomorrow. 4-2. Right, give me your score lines. Give me your score lines for the weekend. Helen, first up, 2-0 Celtic. 2-0 Celtic. If the women were paid the same and had the same ability men, it would not be a wage. So, give me your scoreline predictions. Helen's going for 2-0. I'm going to go for 2-0. What if Martin O'Neill plays Yang? Jesus, he's not going to play Yang. Not a chance. 3-1 says Jed Johnson. Paul Baird is going to 4-0. Can we score 4? Pat's going for 3-1 Celtic. 3-1. Celtic are either going to be on fire, or they're going to be nervous. I don't know. Joseph Davidson's going for 3-1. Michelle's going for 2-2. 6-2 Baz. Ooh. 3-2 to Celtic. Pat O's going for 3-1. Chris, how are you today? He's going for 7-1. 3-2. 2-1. Seb and Maeda to score. No to Robbie Keane. He was warned. 2-2, then 3-2 to us in extra time. Don't go extra time. Jeez, I don't know if I could cope that long on a watch along. 3-1 to Celtic. 6-2. Could it be another 6-2? Do we have? I mean, 2-0 as well. I'm going for 2-0. 6-2. History will repeat itself. If it does, there will be a massive amount of fans that go, just give Martin a job. Give him a job, give him a sainthood, and make him director of football at the end of the season. There'll be a massive amount of folk who go for that. It's a toss of coin. 4-1 Celtic. See if it ends up in penalties. My heart can't take it. I don't say that. 3-0 Martin's back, says Craigie White. 6-2 says Gareth. 4-1. This is the time. Now is the time. It was a Rab S and Scott Brown song. Now is the time. Robbie's breastfeeding. What? 3-0 Celtic. None of us playing around the back saves us scrambling. Yeah, I think that would put pressure on us. 2-1 Celtic. And Dale's back. Dale subscribes to the channel just to come and say hi, and then he gets banned. I think we'll just ban him altogether this time. Bye, Dale. No, we won't, because your team are shite. I'm just going to put him on a timeout, and then we'll bring him back in like 2 or 3 days. See, this is the power that we have. We can delete your messages, and then we can put you on a timeout. Put you on a timeout for 24 hours. And then tomorrow we'll put you on a timeout for another 24 hours. And we'll just keep on doing that consistently until you get peed off and don't come back. It's the way that we do it here. God bless Albert Kidd. And just think, it was 40 years ago, just nearly 40 years ago, that you thought you were going to win the season, Dale. You thought you were going to win the season. Bit like this season, you think you're going to win the season. But in truth, you know deep down that McInnes will shite it. McInnes will drop a load in his pantyhose, and he'll see Celtic overtaken to win the league. God bless Albert Kidd. Anyway, we move on. 6-2. Michelle wants Robbie Keane. She's the daughter of Satan, I think. 3-1. 3-1. Could be. Easy peasy 4 of us, or 3-1 says Danny. He always goes for 3-1, Danny. Whoever does better without ball in possession, both sides are suspect out of possession. I think that we are going to be a completely different kettle of fish this weekend. That is for sure. Dio says, hope it's a winning weekend. I think hope it's a winning weekend. I will... I don't know where it comes from. We know the officials are against us. I'm not really worried about the officials because we need to beat the officials. And well, there's the thing: how many potential managers will be at Hampden? Surely. This is why I think that what is our owner doing? It's a massive game this weekend. If you're going to go into talks with anyone, you start the conversations this week. You invite them up to the game at Hampden, and then the old Celtic never really got managers in quick, but I was kind of hoping that we would take control of the narrative and put out positive vibes to everyone, have the manager possibly in the stand, and then whatever the score line is at the weekend, announce the manager on Monday. That's not going to happen. It looks like that we're not going to announce the manager for a good couple of weeks yet. Anyway, can't wait to find the Hearts pod. They don't do podcasts, do they? I've never seen one yet. But anyway, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans. We'll jump back on. Is there SPFL games today? Don't think there is there? I know that there's a cup game on. And why is the cup game on later? Do you know, it just means that if there was to be any rain today, it's fucks up the pitch, doesn't it? But there is only there's God, it's November. I've just realised it's the 1st of November today. Where's the year gone? When we look back, is it too early to do a sort of look back on 2025? What a bloody year it's been, isn't it? To be a Celtic fan. The start of the year in the Champions League. Do you know, getting some fantastic results in the Champions League. Starting off 5-1. Getting beat 7-1. Drawn away in Italy. Getting the campaign back on track. Thinking there's a possibility that we could get into the top 8, but it was never going to happen, was it? We drew a couple of games. Winning the league. Losing the Scottish Cup. Having a manager that's at odds with us all summer. It all started back in the summer, the negativity, didn't it? It all started back at the cup final, really. We started questioning things at the cup final. What a year it's been. It's been a strange year to be a Celtic fan. Anyway, there is only the one SPFL Premiership game today. Falkirk versus Kilmarnock. And then there is also... Well, there's a couple of games on today. Hearts played Dundee. Come on, Dundee. Get one over them. It'd be funny if Hearts drop points to Dundee today. And then you've got Livingston versus Hibernian also. That's interesting because Hibernian could... Well, you would expect Hibernian to win that game and then jump back over the top of Celtic Rangers. Can Hearts pull away at the top of the table a bit further, or can Dundee pull a rabbit out the back end and get the result against Hearts? I doubt it somehow. But anyway, and then the cup game's on later on. Have a fantastic day. Will we jump back on at 5:45? We might do. We might do. I swear I woke up and it was 1st of January and now it's the 1st of November. Gus, I'm the same. Where is that comment? Where is that? Yeah, you're getting the last comment. I swear I woke up 1st of January, blinked, and now it's 1st of November. What a crazy year. Anyway, it's not even finished yet.